Hi there, welcome to the latest news on the Noah Presgrove case. Right now, we do have quite a serious problem, and it's to do with the FBI not even being involved, not assisting at this moment in time. That's quite shocking news to hear, considering previously, to most of our knowledge, we were told that they were assisting, but they're not. What the hell has gone on? There is a news article which has just come out talking about it, revealing extra details. I'm going to analyse that very shortly in today's video and try and make sense as to what's gone down. But first, I just want to give a bit of context as to where it came about in the first place, about the FBI originally getting involved in some way. So I heard about it discussed online within the community and the context, and I think it was re-quoted or reworded onto Reddit from a particular podcast. I'm not sure which podcast, but one people look up to and watch along, wasn't that long ago, that we're talking about FBI getting involved full on, hands on. But then that was later cleared up by, I believe, family members that said, no, they're not taking over, they're just simply assisting. But still, that was arguably good news to hear because of the way the LE have gone about things and stuff not being fully done and searches being wasted, DNA opportunities being wasted. If the FBI could get involved, maybe they could make more sense and make more progress in the case and bring justice quicker than the LE. And yet this recent news has turned everything upside down. So, who really knows what's going on, right? If it's been confirmed in the past with a level of confidence that this is happening, that's going on, that's been solved, that's been retrieved, really? Is anything true? It makes it hard to believe in anything, doesn't it? So, before we get any deeper, let's get into this article right now to make sense. The name of this article is from people.com. The title reads, FBI not currently investigating Noah Presgrove's death, but is poised to get involved if asked. But will they ever be asked? And who exactly has to ask for the FBI to get involved? Is it other officials, higher ups, or just the general public, maybe the family? Because I'm sure those people, the general public and family, have already begged and asked for some kind of involvement with the FBI, or at least the law enforcement, for that to exchange hands to another police department or whatever you'd call it out there. It says in quotes, should our law enforcement partners develop information to suggest a violation of federal law, the FBI will respond, a spokeswoman says. So that's really the only condition, that the LE, the law enforcement, develop information to suggest violation of federal law. What? Violation of federal law within the LE and their performance in the case, or just to do with the case itself if something is found to suggest that there is more foul play than meets the eye? What does it really mean there? This was published July 19th, very recent. Amid the ongoing scrutiny of the death of the 19-year-old Noah Presgrove in Oklahoma nearly a year ago, federal authorities now confirm they have not gotten involved, but could if asked. But they've not been asked. And if it does come down to the LE, another form of authority, the ones assigned, locals, are they honestly going to ask FBI for help or for assistance? Because if the LE or certain members of LE could be a bit dodgy, maybe, that's all I'm saying, I don't think they would want a case to be solved or sped up. So if there are others out there that could do a better job, well, they're not going to reach out to them because they don't want it to be solved, right? So if it all comes down and it relies on the LE to give the green thumbs up, the go-ahead to get involved, well, that will probably never happen, right? So you're in a never-ending cycle of getting nowhere. It says in quotes, we remain poised to review the incident if requested, spokeswoman Kayla McCleary tells People. In quotes, should our law enforcement partners develop information to suggest, okay, I've seen that before, the FBI will respond with the appropriate personnel and resources to investigate, McCleary says. Presgrove's body was found naked and badly beaten by the side of Highway 81 outside Terrell, Oklahoma, early on September 4th, 2023. Yeah, he was found naked and badly beaten by the truck drivers, Tyler Hardy, those two, at about 5:43 a.m. onwards. But it was the likes of key witness who saw the body earlier on, such as Caden Pressey, a party goer at the time and a friend to Noah, who saw his body on the highway at 5:20 a.m. and Noah wasn't naked, he was wearing black shorts. And that's from what Caden says, because he saw the body, okay? What Caden saw was different to what Tyler Hardy saw after, but they were both right in their own experiences. Things happened in between for it to be altered with the body, the appearance, how it, the posture or positioning of the body, okay? When it came to Caden said that Noah's body was on his side with his neck twisted, but his arms and legs were spread out, sprawled out, quoted by him. But when a police guy got there, first on scene, known as Jimmy Williams, that arrived, he said that, yes, Noah was still on his side and head twisted, but arms weren't tucked in, but the legs were straight, not spread. So obviously things have changed. And I'm just adding that context in because it doesn't mention it in this official article. What else does it say? Since then, state authorities have assumed jurisdiction of the case because of where the death was reported. They've said they aren't examining it as a murder, but have otherwise given few public updates citing the ongoing investigation. So they're not treating it as a murder case, but they're treating it as a suspicious death. Well, normally when it comes to murder or crime, there is a level of suspicion that something suspicious has happened. Normally, the word suspicion or suspicious is around a negative event. Murder is a crime, goes against the laws. Murder is a negative event. If it's treated as a suspicious death, that could be seen as bad. But, oh well, we're not going to treat it as murder. I mean, I know it does come down to wording because I heard people re-quote it saying suspicious death. Maybe others have called it unknown death. Like with the Caleb Newton situation in the past, 2020 Warwick Lake with that girl who was 7 years old. Cause of death explained, but in terms of how she fell into the water, remains unknown, a mystery. Well, that's great. Not. Anyway, what else do we have? Presgrove had extensive injuries, a split skull, fractured spine, and more, and the unusual way in which his body was first discovered has continued. So basically, this is very, very short in terms of the discussions. It really underdoes it, right? Very underwhelming. There was a lot more damage sustained, but, understandably, this isn't like a medical report, so they're not going to go into too much depth. Autopsy released to people. He died of blunt force trauma. His manner of death, it was an accident or homicide, is still unknown. I mean, someone got strangled, okay? If someone got strangled, it can be quite noticeable, especially if there's marks around the neck. What I'm just trying to get at is, if it was a different cause of death for Noah Presgrove, but the cause of death was that damn obvious, and I mean more obvious than this beatdown. If you strangled and you clearly see the rope, the wire mark around the neck, and that's the cause of death, basically. If that happened to Noah in that situation, would it still be treated with a level of blindness? Oh, there's some marks around his neck. Maybe he got strangled. Or maybe he somehow got hit by a flying elephant. Let's treat it as unknown at this moment. Yeah, how stupid does it really get? That's what I wanted to know. It says, whilst Presgrove's family is in regular contact with state authorities, they have also sought to solve the mystery themselves, including for a private investigator. How it's worded here kind of implies that Presgrove's family would rather a private investigator try and solve it than other authorities. Does that include the FBI as well? Because I'm sure the family want the FBI to help. How it's worded here doesn't quite acknowledge that, but let's just see. They say they were initially told by Oklahoma Highway Patrol, OHP, that the FBI was probing Noah's death, and they reacted with dismay this week at learning otherwise. Well, there we go. In quotes, we as Noah's family have many mixed emotions about this entire situation, his aunt Robin Smith tells People. In quotes, Robin says, "First and foremost, we are heartbroken over the loss of our son, brother, grandson, cousin, nephew. However, we're also frustrated with the situation at hand." So this level of frustration from the family in terms of how the LE are handling things, this is like the Dylan Rounds case all over again. And whilst the LE themselves may be much more dodgy than the likes of the Dylan Rounds case, in terms of the beginning, that frustration, how things aren't being done properly, how others should step in but they've not yet, that's the early stages of the Dylan Rounds case exactly, right? Before the FBI stepped in there. So you get an idea. What else? In quotes, "We are frustrated at the fact that we do not have any answers or are even remotely close to having any answers at this moment." Smith continues, "We also are frustrated that we're being told multiple things by multiple different people about the investigation." What does that mean exactly? Frustrated about being told multiple different things by different people. What, within the case? You're saying about the investigation. If it's about, does that mean the people that are talking about it aren't within? They're just about the area, about the community, roaming around, I wonder. Because yeah, there has been a lot of talk online, but there has been quite a few people within the case, or just quite a bit of activity with people in the case coming out and saying this and that about what's happened, even if it hasn't. Finally, we have been told that the FBI has been assisting with the investigation. However, this is only being confirmed by the OHP investigators. Smith says, "Overall, we're just wanting the answers to come out about this case, and we want to know what happened to Noah." Right, so what the actual hell is going on? So it says here, FBI not currently investigating the case. So they're basically on the sideline doing absolutely F all. But supposedly in the past, they were supposed to be assisting, but recently it turns out they're not. The family's disappointed. And then the final ending quote is, "We've been told that the FBI has been assisting." They've been told by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. So the Oklahoma Highway Patrol lying about it then? What the hell is going on? It's a simple question. Are the FBI taking over the case, yes or no? The answer appears to be no. Are the FBI at least assisting in the case, yes or no? From the looks of it, yes and no, depending how you interpret the language within this article. Are the FBI on the sideline and will spring into action when the green thumbs are given? That appears to be yes. So you could say that's a positive that they are present, they're waiting, but surely more could be done by now and much earlier on, and yet that's not been the case. So what will it take? What more will it take, really? When I look back to the Dylan Rounds case, when the FBI had to step in there and the family really needed it because the LE at the time in that case, in that area of Utah, Lucem, weren't doing a good enough job. I'm not too sure when it exactly occurred, whether that be 2022 or 2023. If it was in 2022, it would have been towards the end of the year or so, with a few months left remaining. Because, I mean, if any of you remember from that case, you can leave it down below. It's just to gauge and measure the distance and the time, right? Because obviously it can vary from state to state, country to country, and wherever, and whoever is assigned to a case. But just basing it off patterns and what to possibly expect or what you could anticipate based on other cases, how long they've gone on for, how long it's taken for FBI to step on in, what did it require in those situations. You know, was it by the general public demanding and voting and protesting, and the same with the family? If that's what worked, would that need to be applied here as well? Would it even work, considering it being a smaller community in the area and some dodgy people are around? I want to know your thoughts about that. You can leave all your comments down below under this video, and if you do want to check my previous videos, including the earlier one today, hover over top right corner of the screen right now. You'll see an I symbol. If you click on that, you will find a drop-down box for the links to my video playlist of all the videos on this case and my recent videos too individually if you have missed out on them. Down below, you'll also find a pinned comment under this video if you do want to support this channel. With that being said, thanks for watching. I may see you later. Goodbye for now.